My name is Gwendolyn Huckstep, and I am speaking on behalf of People Incorporated of Aberdeen, Virginia. And I'd like to tell you how my life was before People Incorporated started helping me out. I had worked all of my life, and most of the time I had worked 2 jobs. And then there came a day when I started having trouble with my back. I started having a bad disc in my back and a bad nerve. So I wasn't able to work full time. And then in 2009, I broke my ankle. I broke the bone in 5 places, and I tore up all the ligaments in it. So I had to have a steel plate put in my left ankle and 3 screws. I was working 2 jobs, and I'd always been independent, always able to take care of myself. And then I lost the 2 jobs, and I didn't have no insurance or nothing, so there was no income coming in. And then that's when my trouble started. I wasn't able to pay my rent, and I wasn't able to pay my electric, and then the evictions started. And for me, that was hard because I was an independent person. I was used to taking care of myself, used to paying my bills, and I never had to worry about a place to live because I always had a place to live. And it was hard. I don't know whether it's a pride thing or what, but it was just hard for me to accept that I wasn't independent anymore. Well, for a few months, my landlord where I was staying was understanding, and then there come a point there where there was no understanding. So the eviction notices started, and so I started calling around to different churches trying to find help for my rent. And at that time there, I couldn't get any help because I had fell between the cracks, they said. And so then there come a day when he come and said that I had to move. And I found another place to live. But before I had found this place to live, he was so upset that he come one day and had threatened just to put all my stuff outside by the end of the evening if I wasn't out. So I found another place to live. And this place I was in was an old building that somebody had fixed up an apartment in for me to live in. It wasn't very well insulated, and it was very, very cold. Now I'm talking about in the winter time. I did not have to go outside to see how cold it was because it was that cold on the inside. It was a lot of open space, and I didn't have no money to really heat it. So I was sleeping in the cold even though I wasn't outside. And the mice was there. That was what really, I was not used to that. I didn't know who had the apartment, me or the mice. I didn't know who had the bed, me or the mice. And that's a horrible, horrible feeling to, have to share your bed and you ain't sharing it with a human being. I kept going around trying to get help. And so then I lost that place. And I ended up in another place. But all during this time, since 2009 up until last year, I was just, everybody from in Southwest Virginia know me because I was calling trying to get help. Every month it was the same thing, trying to come up with the rent, trying to come up with the electric. When people knocked on the door, I would go and peep, and I dreaded it because I know there was an eviction notice. And I know the help wasn't there. So then a nice lady down at Social Services, Miss Ruth Atkins, was put in touch with her. And then she put me in touch with People Incorporated. She got in touch with People Incorporated and got in touch with Sherry Monroe. And then that's when the ball started working for me. Sherry and Ginger Henderson, I tell you, are my guardian angels because, they put themselves, on the line. It's not a job for them at People Incorporated. They make it their lives. They go the extra mile. They do everything that they can to help you out. And I kept calm because I was at the point to where I was getting ready to be put out, and I didn't know where I was going to go. There was no place else for me to go, and I didn't have the money, and there was no place else for me to call to get any help. And then Ginger Henderson, and I was also a victim of abuse. So, and due to that, and then no income coming in, Sherry found help for me. And so I went down there and filled out the papers, and sitting down there in the office that day, Sherry was calling around trying to find a place for me to live. And that's the reason I say they go the extra mile for me. And then they talked to John Carrico, and they fixed this place up. As you can see, it's a very nice place. They headed Sherry, and then Ginger worked it out to where they were able to take care of my rent. I don't have to worry when a knock comes on the door who it is. I don't have to peep out the peephole to see if it's somebody to come to give me an eviction notice. You know, I know for this past year that I've had a roof over my head. Last winter I was warm, and I didn't know how to act being warm, because you know, if you sleep in the cold and you're living in the cold and you're sleeping in your clothes and you're still cold and praying for God to warm you up, then, you know, that's rough. This is a miracle for me. This is to be the second, I'm going on the second year here, and I'm going on the second winter to where I'm going to be warm. You know, I don't have to cry at night anymore. I don't have to have any fear that the people downstairs are doing illegal stuff that's endangering my life. And you know, I thank God for People Incorporated. I thank God for Sherry Monroe and Ginger Henderson. You know, they're not just my social workers, they are my friends. Because where People Incorporated is my miracle, they could still be somebody else's miracle along the way. And I thank you for listening to me.